I always.
Podcast warriors ain't afraid to shout. Make America great, tell them what it's about. Facts over feelings, cutting through the noise. Fighting woke mobs and the kids with toys. They spew their lies, they spreading hate. Lips BS ain't gonna seal our fate. No nonsense here, just straight to the point. Truce to ammo in this battleground joint. Make America great again, stand and fight. Facts over feelings, day and night.
Hey, it's To The Point with Mike, Leo, and Vince.
Hey guys, we're back for episode 115. I just had to check at the last second because I forgot. Welcome back. All three of us are back here tonight, and it looks like we're somewhere different, but we're all together. And seriously,
we've had several people say they think we're on a different location.
I don't know why. It's the same background.
We're just using 3 different cameras.
Yeah,
because we can.
Yeah. So what's up,
Hey guys? I'm Leo.
Leo? You were not feeling good last week.
Oh man, I was not.
Why?
Why?
I mean, was it Corona? Was it
was
the
probably-
Fauci ouchie, or what was it?
Which Corona?
Well, because I'm already on my booster number 12 already, so
Booster number 12.
I've been
Truthful Troll said hello, Leo. Bubble guts. Bubble guts. Yeah, bubble guts.
I wish
already.
I had the bubble guts, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I got a little alcohol poison. I went a little too hard during Easter, and it knocked me out, man. It was out that I'm right now. I just to think of alcohol is just.
I don't drink.
Leo, as you get older, if you don't drink all the time and you
man.
try to join up with people that drink on a regular basis, you can't keep up.
It put me out so
I
bad.
speak
that
from experience.
it put me out so bad that I had to go get an IV just to bring me back to life. So it did. It brought me back to life. So here I am back again. Full force.
Easter out here in Fellsmere gets pretty lit.
Oh man, especially in Florida, man, it's so hot.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep
Oh,
hydrating,
God.
and I think I hydrated myself a little bit, just a little bit too much.
Yeah,
but I'm
so-
back. Hey,
A
fresh,
little
ready to go.
rehydration. You're back to it.
Ready to go, ready to speak, ready to talk. Have you guys seen the gas prices here lately that nobody's been talking about?
Right.
Everybody was talking about it when they're expensive, but they're not expensive. Now everybody can afford it. Everybody could go and pump gas now.
You know what else I've noticed?
I
Leo?
voted for that.
Right?
Yep.
I've noticed eggs prices are going back
Hey
down
John.
too.
Hey
Yeah.
Dale.
Nobody says anything about
Yeah. What's the
that.
gas prices where you're at, John? I know what the gas prices are where you're at. I know I paid what $2.89 at Sam's Club, right?
$2.89. Yeah, that's what I paid this morning.
Yeah, I mean the other places around it are a little more.
I was shocked that
But
I was
still.
not. The thing that got me though, that I was just surprised though, that I was just like, wow, I was not paying more than $85 to go and fill up a gas tank.
Before?
Before I did. Before it was $85, $90, $100 to fill up a whole tank of gas on my
Right.
truck. And
I filled
now
up
it's
the
just
other
like,
day for like $62.
Yeah, I was
It's
just
like,
like,
damn.
man, that's pretty good. It feels good. But
But they're not talking about
they're not
that.
talking about that though because it's cheap. They can afford it.
What are
You
they
know,
talking about?
All of a sudden they're rich.
Yeah, $1.79 would be nice, John.
I mean, we'll get there.
I haven't paid
Get some
attention.
time, man. We're trying to get that money rolling
Right.
and back.
I haven't
back
paid
into-
attention
to
the last couple
house.
days, but the stock market was going up every day.
Bull
too,
again. I don't have the video. I lost it. I was looking for it too. It was literally during a CNN report about how bad the president's doing for the economy that the Nasdaq was, jumping up. So I mean, I think it's part of our thumbnail actually. The Nasdaq rise last week, and
Well, that's a bad
they
thing.
won't recognize that.
Nah.
No, but and if they had to talk about it somehow, they'd point out how it's a bad thing. It's, they'd make up some bullshit. Oh, it's just they're just blinding you, and then it's going to crash. They'll make some.
Oh, yeah,
They
for
can't
sure.
say anything positive that he does. Like if you watch CNN or you watch
Nope.
The View or you watch any of that bullshit, they will not talk about anything positive that he does.
No.
Nothing.
It's
Because
beyond them. They can't do that.
because it's just the hatred, just the hate is just like that. They're
Well,
just
It's funny.
their
You,
mouth. It just the stuff like that just
Leo,
doesn't come out their mouth.
you shared a video to me and Mike the other day where a girl was playing a prank on her grandfather, and you saw how hard it was for him to say something positive about Biden.
Oh, we should
the
share
Biden
that. You need to
administration.
share that to the page, Leo, because that was pretty.
That was
funny.
pretty good. She's playing a prank on her grandfather that she applied for a scholarship. She's getting $10,000 for school through a Democrat
party
or something.
Yeah.
And she's got to do a video, and he's got to say something good that the Biden administration did, and say that he loves being a Democrat. And you could tell he had to keep telling her pause the video, because I'm not gonna fucking lie to these people. He didn't do anything good.
Well, before we kick everything off and go to our sponsors ad, there's something really I think we should blow the whistle on, and that's Dale crossing enemy lines into communist California to report back $4.79 gas prices. And I don't know really what the real reason why Dale's over there. Maybe they're scoping out some studios or whatnot, but things are changing.
Well, Leo, maybe
Dale, that's Dale from Two Guys in One Coop.
Maybe they're doing what you suggested. You should pay for what you voted for. We're paying, what'd you guys pay? $2.89?
$2.89.
Yeah.
Versus, what'd you say it was in California?
$4.79.
Dale said it's $4.79 a gallon.
Hey, that's what they voted for over there.
But we were right there around during COVID. That's like close to what we got to during COVID. That's what we had. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get to our sponsor before we run through.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Mike, Dale probably drives a Tesla, so he ain't worried about that.
I don't think Dale drives on Tesla.
A Cybertruck, maybe?
Oh, big contract negotiations. Maybe this is for Rachel Maddow's spot.
There you go.
We'll see. All right. Well, did you have something else before I go to Shop with America?
Nah.
Shopwithamerica.us. It's our network sponsor here. Offering American made products from American made company and at a great value. So before I lose my track and
just pissed Dale
whatnot.
Sorry, Dale.
I gotta have to get caught up in the comments already.
I mean, even what's her name says Mike's a prick. So
Lanka. Yeah, well, we're gonna debut Lanka on To the Point podcast tonight, possibly. So stay tuned for Lanka, who's our newest intern at Indian River Connections. Anyways, shopwithamerica.us.
Welcome to Shop with America, where the emphasis is on America. Our movement is to switch away from your shopping with the big box stores and the mega corporations back to supporting family-owned, made in America. We've been giving these big box stores our money every day for years. But what's happened is they've forced many small businesses to shut down. We call this the illusion of choice. We see all these products in these stores, but in reality, it's only a few companies that control it all. There are thousands of lawsuits for health damage because they put profit over our people. But there is another choice. We found a better way. There's a family-owned American factory with product integrity and have always done things the right way for the right reasons. And this company outperforms the big box stores. That's due to their month-to-month shopping club. They make everyday consumer products that we all use and buy again and again, like toothpaste, shampoo, coffee, and organic beef. Go to shopwithamerica.us today.
I love checking my phone during breaks. If there was a B-roll, it would be pretty funny. But anyways, shopwithamerica.us, toothpaste, supplements, steaks, you name it, man. Check them out. Hit up the link. Yep, hit up the link and you can find out some more. And all right, so Leo,
it just takes 5-15 minutes to check them out, right?
So some of the headlines, we kind of talked about some of these last week, and obviously the immigration crackdown's an ongoing thing. We can talk about that. We can talk about Pope Francis's death and funeral, which I have some details on that. I find all of that tradition fascinating and a little bit satanic. So besides that, we talked about the Nasdaq recovery.
Because I grew up in the Catholic Church. Literally, grew up in the Catholic Church.
Latin Catholic.
Yeah. I was an altar boy. I did all that. I could pray the whole rosary in Spanish, not in English.
Easy. Yeah, we're dodging SWAT already. And now you got ICE on the way.
I know, and even that is just like I still think about it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of eerie, It's just like, not eerie, but it's like
Yeah, Pope funerals are creepy. That's what Dale said.
Yeah.
I find you know, I keep going back to Notre Dame, the reopening of Notre Dame. Uh it just seems real creepy to me, you know. And I grew up
Yeah.
Catholic too. I grew up Catholic, and when we moved out of Connecticut, thank God we moved out of Connecticut. Um, when I was very young, it just wasn't the same for a lot of things down here. Life, you know, life got in the way, you know. But I don't believe my God needs to be conveyed to me through organized.
I went to church when I was young with my grandfather, but I don't know. I found it just going to the regular church was a little bit creepy. Like I don't
like to me is creepy, but also in a way, like I've always had like tons of like questions because I'm a question person. I like to ask questions, you know. And some people don't like to be asked questions, and they get offended, and that's the Catholic Church for you. They get offended when you ask questions. Like, why should you be asking these things?
This is what we're telling you. This is what you're supposed to believe,
right? You know. And then the other thing is, like, if I have to like go confess, like I have to go do confession, like why do I have to go like do confession when somebody's there? Why does he have to hear what I gotta say? Why can I just go?
You can just
why can I just go to the ocean or go wherever?
Just go talk to God. You can do that in your bedroom.
If you go on a history binge and look at Europe,
I have.
But if you watch all these YouTube videos about the Crown and the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantines and the Ottomans and this and that and how all that formed, and you'll know that like the Catholic Church and their bishops were royalty. Like they fought for power across all Europe and behind the scenes, even when they didn't have power. So it's kind of, it is fascinating because, hey, you know, without some type of organization back then,
like, to me, it's
or defense mechanisms, people of faith just couldn't organize or couldn't survive.
Right. Like to me, like I've, like it's fascinating. Like to me, it's like, wow, man, like it's so like saint, so like pure, so like just like I could get in the zone, but I could also get out of that zone real quick.
And Leo, you bring up, why should I have to, you know, confess my sins to a priest? Why has he got to be there to hear it?
Right.
And, you know, some people have said for, you know, forever since the beginning they started it, they use that information for power and money.
Yeah. And another thing,
when they need to share your information to somebody, if they can use it against you or get paid for the information, certain people, they need information. They need dirt on people.
And not just that, but also to me, like it's very weird that like the church is asking you for you to give your 10% when
20 is
or
sometimes
or whatever it is. But it's like, you shouldn't ask, because if it's coming from your heart and if it's coming from wherever it's coming from, you should be able to give whatever you feel like giving. You know, there shouldn't be a thing coming a thing coming around, because like, what if somebody puts in, I'm just saying an example, somebody puts in a 20 in front of me and all I had for that day or for that week was a $5 bill, man. Like now I'm like, shit,
man, I don't know if I belong here, but everybody's putting in a 20. I can't do that.
Right. You know, so you make that person feel bad, you know, like versus, I don't know, maybe it's in the front or whatever, or you pass by somehow, somewhere. There should be another way of, I mean, come on, get Elon to make him an app or something to figure out how to do it or someplace.
Listen, at least they pass the basket around. I think I told the story last week about the Pentecostal church, and they expect you to tie like 20% of your household income to them. Meanwhile, they're driving Beamers and those sound
living
systems
in nice
like
houses.
in the studios.
Like, Leo, I'm surprised you didn't try to pay him with Bitcoin.
Nah,
that's how he gets rid of telemarketers.
So anyway, telemarketers by telling them the only way that I pay for is through Bitcoin.
Yeah,
crypto. Hang up on me and they're like,
right now that might be an option, but let's not set those comments in place. So real quick about this conclave thing. The conclave starts, I believe, Saturday. I don't know. The Pope died on the 21st at age 88 from a stroke and heart failure. The Vatican scheduled a papal conclave to begin on May 7th, which I believe is the Saturday.
Right. But you know what I was also reading? I got not really into it, but into like a little rabbit hole about this. You know, after that he dies, there is only one person that comes in and that declares him dead. that they don't do no autopsy, they don't do no nothing, no anything. It is what it is. There's just one person that comes in, and it was saying that they
ask him 3 questions.
3 questions, or they ask him what his name is or something like
Yeah.
that. And if he doesn't answer or doesn't respond, that's it. No more. He's done. You know, and then after that, they do like a little ribbon cross over the door and stuff like that. And then that person goes and tells another 2 people, and then those 2 people go, like, which is, I mean, pretty cool, you know, because back then, I mean, I understand it's a tradition, but now it's like just every ding dang, you know. I mean,
Yeah. Well, before I get
at
back
one
to
point, it's
hold on.
kind of creepy.
before I get back to the
My bad.
notes there, Dale says I am Catholic and
Yeah, me
Italian
too.
Catholic. Okay,
I'm a
So that's-
Mexican. I'm
so,
a Mexican.
well, Italian
Catholic.
and Latin. I mean,
Yeah, we're right
I think
there,
they're
Dale. What's
kind of.
up?
The
Yeah.
entire ceremony is bizarre,
Well, that's
and it
what-
gets crazier
That's
too.
what
for
my whole
Orthodox.
family grew up to, was Italian Catholic.
And it's like up
Yeah,
and down,
troll-
up
truthful
and down,
trolls, right?
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah, most
You know?
religions have wackos and extremists for sure,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like the left and the right. At least he's not doing circumcisions. Who? Pope Francis? He's not doing anything right now. Where are we at? I had to argue a few days ago about people targeting Catholics. Listen, I love the tradition. If you need to belong to the church, that's good for you.
Yeah,
I
no,
just,
it's good.
you
My
know,
mom is Catholic.
Everybody-
She's always been Catholic. She's always been into the church. Man, we used to go to the church because back here where we live at now,
Yeah.
we didn't have a church.
Right.
That church that we have right there
A lot
right
of
now,
people
Mike,
need a
that-
church.
the
for
Felsmer
sure.
Church. Like, I'm gonna say that we built that church because
Mhm.
since I can remember, we used to go over there where my cousin lives at right now, Mike. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
Back there used
Yeah.
to be that pavilion that was the church. We used to
Yeah.
carry an altar with us to that pavilion every Saturday, every Sunday, and every Wednesday.
yeah, the
We
church is
carried
part
that.
of a congregation, I believe, out of Miami, and has been for
yeah,
a very long
It's
time.
from the Diocese of
Yeah,
Palm
yeah.
Beach.
Yeah,
It's from the
yeah,
Diocese-
Palm Beach, yeah.
the Diocese of and where we live at right here, Mike. I know all this stuff, man, because I was involved
Yeah.
with it, man, growing up.
Give it to us.
We are the last county for the Diocese of Palm Beach, because then after that is the Diocese of Orlando.
Yep, yeah.
So it's it's
And it's
man.
crazy.
And then every
we have
year,
a lot. We have a Greek Orthodox church down the road too. Also,
Yep, and
I don't know
every
if you knew that.
and every year, every church for the diocese, they have a like a quota that they have to meet. That they have to have a certain amount of members in the church and a certain amount of this and a certain amount of that. So every year, it grows a little bit more and more. So every year they expect more and more for these people, but you have to understand that nowadays it's a lot of youth. So you have to like somehow, some way, like, can't stay tradition, but you can stay tradition at the same time. But with like somehow, I don't know, it's just so hard to figure it out. You can't just stay tradition 24/7.
well,
like,
let's get back to the details on the tradition.
Let's go.
So the conclave starts on the 7th. It's held in the Sistine Chapel, where cardinals under 80 vote secretly. As of January 2025, 135 out of 252 cardinals are eligible to vote. Paper ballots with, I cannot say that, and I wrote it down too, require 2/3 majority vote. Until they decide, I think it's like every 4 hours or every 12 hours, they burn their ballots with a special chemical. If they haven't decided, it's a chemical that makes it black smoke, comes out the stack. If they decided, white smoke. And obviously things unravel from there.
I mean, do they like? Is there like? Do they like break this down somewhere? Like who the lead candidate is?
Yes. Oh, you even Google anything to do with it right now, you'll find it in the shorts on YouTube about, so and so could be the next pope, and it's all kinds of. One was a Ukrainian priest,
it's
another
funny.
was an African priest.
I bring it up on purpose because I ran across some of the art, like some of the stuff, and once you Google it, then of course, like on the homepage of my computer now, it'll pop up some stuff about it. So I've been reading a few things, and it's funny. It almost reminds me of the coverage of the NFL draft, like who's going to get drafted number 1, and like the predictions and stuff like that. So I mean, it's just funny. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that, how they're just like putting different stuff out there, like this person, or they could go with this person.
My Greek church is called Quiznos.
Quiznos.
Dale had to go to work, so thanks, Dale, for tuning in. We look forward to the show on Wednesday. So the conclave. Let's see. Let's get back to that. The conclave, formalized in the 13th century, reflects the locked-in secrecy after nearly a 3-year vacancy from 1268 to 1271. They're encouraged to get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
They don't want to leave the church or the empire without its emperor, without its monarch. And that's what it is. It's the second oldest monarch in the world. Modern conclaves are short. None since 1900 exceeded 4 days. The 2005 conclave, which elected Benedict, I forget the number, took 2 days with 115 voters. Rituals include destroying the late Pope's ring and seal and a secrecy of oath. So their ring is their seal, and their personal secretary cuts it off them, I believe, and then they melt it down. Yeah. All in the same room, I believe.
Yep, everything happens
before they even leave the room again.
Yeah, everything happens in that room.
Current dynamics. Francis appointed 80% of voting cardinals, favoring his inclusive global South vision, which is pretty, I think, could be controversial. Candidates include Cardinal Parolin. He's a secretary. There's a bunch of them. We're not going to go on. There's some other crap there, but it's just, to me, the in-depth of the intricacy. It used to be, you hear about the Swiss bank accounts. Well, if you can get your money into the Vatican bank, there's no regulation, no tracking, nothing, and there's been a lot of controversy. And some bishops have been killed over that were actually overseeing the Vatican bank. Vatican's its own little nation now. Used to control quite a bit of Italy and, Germany and all that. The papal states, they called it, not Germany, but that area of Italy and Croatia and stuff like that. But it didn't work out very well. So now they're down to the Vatican, which is a city-state of its own, surrounded by Italy. Besides that, we wanted to talk about immigration crackdown. We had a comment earlier. I don't want to ignore it. I just didn't want to get sidetracked. Need to chat about the White House lawn signs. Did you see any of these pictures around social media, Leo?
Lawn sign at the White House? Nah, I haven't seen anything. There's lawn signs?
So what he's referring to is, those like realtor signs people put out, or vote for Pedro signs they put out across the White House. Now, granted, back under the Biden administration, they did this, but it was pride signs. The White House posted pictures of criminals deported. So it was from one end of the property all the way to the other end, and it was just sign after sign after sign. And of course, it's raising a lot of concern, like it's pouring salt in the wound.
I see. It says arrested, so and so. I see what you.
Yeah. If I was reading what Bernie Sanders in the 5th round, book it. Oh no, I know what he's talking about. Sheldon Sanders, right? Football player. They got passed up in the draft.
Deion Sanders' son. Yeah. Yeah, and they're saying they.
Yeah, but he was making a reference to Pope.
Yeah.
We ain't talking about sports on this show. Fuck.
Yeah, they're saying the owners band together and made it a point not to select him.
Well, I hear he's cocky.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yeah, it might make you president, but it's not going to get you picked first to be on anybody's team. Immigration. So, what do you think about that, Leo? I don't have pictures. It really wasn't on my thing, but I do have. We do have. It is a topic we're talking about.
I'll think about, because I read somewhere somewhere in here in our local county says something about if you get upset about racism, you are the racism, and that to me right there is being upset. So I asked, so I work with this person, right? I'm not gonna say who this person is. I'm not gonna call his name is, but I just refer him as Chino. And to us in Mexico, a Chino is a Chinese person, period. Chinese, Filipino,
racist,
it is
yo.
what it is. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
we say chink.
No, it's not. It's just Chino, man. And we communicate like that. I'm like, I yell at him, hey, what's up, Chino? And he yells at me back too. Hey, what's up, Mexican? Whatever. I'm cool with it, man. Like, you cool? I'm cool. Whatever. It is what it is. And then whenever the big old stank about the immigration was going on and this and this and that, I asked him, I said, hey, man, any of y'all people out there like this yelling and screaming? And he's like, nah, man. He's like, we try to stay low and quiet so they don't hear us. He's like, but we do get busted. He's like, he's like, there's some bad ones of my people out there. He's like, but we're not out there yelling and screaming, Leo. I'm like,
Yeah, keep a low profile.
you know, I was like, you know what? You're right, bro. Like, I was like,
just like that too.
I was like, you're right. So you guys just stay quiet and don't. He's like, nah. He's like, we try to stay quiet. Nobody see us. Nobody does anything. He's like, because he's like, Leo, you got to understand. We live in 2025. There's cameras and they can find you and they know who you are no matter where you go in America. Well, he's like, so we try not to do those things so that we are not seen and by these cameras, who's yelling, who's screaming, and all this.
And
stuff.
you know why they know that?
I'm like,
you know why they know that?
I was like, you smart,
because where they come from,
and I was like,
even worse.
you smart Chino.
Absolutely. It's
and I was
worse.
like, you are a smart Chino. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, so you got to stay quiet.
Where they're
Leo.
from, they
like,
can't get away with it. Where they're
I
from.
don't know if he
I was
drives
like,
at all.
shit, man. And this, let me tell you this.
I don't know if he drives at all because I know the guy you're talking about, and he's there before everybody else.
I don't
he's
know.
there after everybody else.
Listen, I don't know. I don't ask questions. I don't say anything.
He drives.
Done.
Anyways,
know?
yeah. So
He drives.
So what do you think about the signs, the pictures? Put pictures out there. These are criminals.
Okay, what do you want me to do? Somebody spent their money on it, and it wasn't us.
Well, I think they're trying to say. Are they trying to say it was Trump
No, they're
initiated?
just trying to say. I guess
And it's just supposedly people that support what he's doing that are just doing it.
no, I was watching it right now. It was a mugshot of the person that says arrested, and then it says,
but if
sexual assault on a child or murder. Or
but if you're okay with them taking the corner over to promote gay pride or whatever it was they were doing before,
right?
Then why can't somebody else promote something they want to do? It's not like these people are criminals. You don't have any rights anymore.
Right.
Just like if any white person or anybody, a legal citizen around here gets arrested for sexual, any kind of you're on a list that they can look up and your face is there and you're a sexual predator.
This is great. So this is the White House's Twitter post right here.
Right.
And it says, we will hunt you down. You will face justice. You will be deported and you will never set foot on American soil again. Oh, and your mugshot may just end up on a yard sign at the White House. And like you said, these aren't, they've been arrested. There's rape of a child, distribution of fentanyl, and these aren't just nice people.
And fentanyl is killing people. So essentially that's murder.
They might they might act nice to you. Like they might when they're desperate for their life and their freedom. But look, this other guy over here is a murderer.
So an incident just happened. Leave it right there. An incident just happened to me the other day. A few days after I got alcohol poison. Right, I went to the Dollar General to get me one of those insurers. Right, so the guy in front of me is buying a Bud Light, of course. Right, he's buying a Bud Light, and the lady in the front asked him, "Can I see your ID?" So he takes out his wallet and he shows her the ID, and she's like, "No, it's got to be a U.S. ID." And he's like, oh, but then he starts speaking Spanish, and he's like, oh, but I've came here before and da 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 in Spanish, and I just kind of paused because I was gonna help him out, but then he got a little too rowdy with the lady and started cursing her out, right, in Spanish, and I'm just like, bro, I was literally about to help you out,
and you had to fuck it up,
and you just had to fuck it up. I was about to tell you, hey, leave it. Don't worry. I got you. I'll get it for you. Not a problem. Because his ID literally said he was of age. But the lady told him, I know you're of age, but I can't sell it because the ID is not of, I can't do it. Like, I can't do anything, You know, like she needed to prove that it was from here. But he started getting so mouthy with her, and I was just like, here we go. Like, why you got to get so mouthy with the lady? Like, she's just trying to do her job. She also has a family she's got to feed, and she doesn't want to lose her job for a tall boy that is 298.
Right.
I was just like, so who's that wrong?
That's my favorite one right there on the screen.
You know, so it's like, who's that wrong, man? Like,
What's
it's
AOC and
eating
it's
a dumbass.
being a dumbass,
being a dumbass.
not eating a dumbass. But
I
you
was
probably
like, that
would.
didn't make sense.
But it's just crazy, man. It's
that's
just
ugly. Yeah. So I mean, as far as immigration goes, the big news, like the signs thing, you know what? I could do without it because it costs money, like you said.
Yeah,
I could do without the signs, and let's just stick to business.
Yeah.
Meaning, we talked about arrests.
All right, so let me tell you one more thing about that. Be glad you are in America and you could do those things, okay? Because if you were in another country, you would not be able to do those things because they would have hunched your ass down, cut your legs, cut whatever they got to do. So just be thankful that you are in a country that you are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot worse places to be.
Because you could be in another country that they wouldn't put up with your bullshit. So just be thankful that we are here.
I do agree with you though, Mike. Like the signs do seem like they're adding insult.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but it's not really necessary.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean,
hopefully
does it upset me? No. I mean, these are people that are murderers.
Somebody like these campaigns where they would
people.
drop off these bricks, you know, whenever they do it's the same thing, you know. They need to get their. It's right after tax season too, so they got a little extra. Yeah, that's all that is, man. Go ahead, spend your money, man.
I mean, that's like in favor of our cause, but I don't think it could be. I don't really care for it. Anyways, there has been a couple major arrests. We keep talking about arrests, not the ones that I'm wanting, but they did arrest 2 judges over the weekend. Here's Pam Bondi talking about those arrests. Now, these are judges, one in Wisconsin, one in New Mexico. I believe she's going to tell us about the one in New Mexico first. This is crazy. This guy had an MS-13 guy living with him and went out of his way to protect him.
So rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes. Victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Wow.
You know, Madam Attorney General,
that's her picture up on the screen. Hannah Dugan, who is now in custody. You cannot obstruct a criminal case, and really shame on her. It was a domestic violence case of all cases, and she's protecting a criminal defendant over victims of crime. Yeah, that's the judge up on the screen now who got arrested. Yeah, his name is Ortega. He was is a known TDA member, So he comes through Eagle Pass December 2023. He's living in our country. January 2025, ICE, they get a tip. Tom Homan's done a great job. Our FBI did a great job on this case, too. They get a tip that he is living with a judge and the judge's wife. So they have him arrested first on immigration charges. A Judge Damian Martinez releases him, saying that Judge Cano has a good BS meter and wouldn't let just anyone live on his property.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the associations with this violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, and this person that they harbored in their home, he was showing signs through clothing, we were told, tattoos. There was evidence through voice messages and text messages of his association to TDA. So what charges will Cano and his wife face, if any?
So Judge Cano, soon to be former...
It's pretty bad out there. I mean, you got people in power of authority, and they're opening the back doors and circumventing federal authorities. And then these judges think they are above the law, and because they judge on it. You know, they dictate on it, and we've seen that with that judge, the one that's making Trump bring back the El Salvadorian guy that El Salvador won't let him bring back. But
you mean trying to make him?
Yeah.
He even knows that's never going to happen.
But there's these judges, and I think the court system's just been riddled with them because the court system's too large. Anyways, there's too many of them. The only one that's mandated is the Chief Justice, and he sets out and does this. And I think we're to the point where we should see whole districts defunded. And
no single judge should be able to do anything that oversees something a president decides. It should take the majority of the Supreme Court judges should vote on it. But no single judge, especially not one on the Supreme Court, should be able to overthrow any decision that a president said.
Yeah. Truthful Troll, I agree with you. Your comment, the only problem I have is they can find all these immigrants and arrest judges fast, which is okay. But where are the arrests of politicians, CEOs, Epstein people, 9/11? I agree. I'm not one to jump on the whole Bin Laden went swimming idea, and where are these people? And for that reason, that whole you said here, Pam is showing off on arrests that local and state should be handling. You're right. Like, what is she doing on the news anyways? And I'm sorry, I was kind of in favor for her, except the whole charade with the binder and parading around podcasters like they're useful idiots just pissed me right off. When she realized she had no new information, she should have canceled the whole thing, sent everybody home.
Yeah.
And that whole thing pissed me off. She lost me there. If they came out tomorrow and said they're replacing Pam Bondi, I wouldn't give two shits. I'm sorry. She's great person. I don't like what she did with red flag laws in Florida. Give her a show on Fox News for all I give.
And she's also the one that with the folder thing, right?
Folders
at the Epstein folder.
Yeah.
So that she kind of botched that completely also.
Yeah, they also claim these people invaded, but Biden allowed them to. So they should also hold Biden, Mayorkas, and more accountable. Well, a lot of them got a pardon from that. Yeah.
Yep. Another reason why a president shouldn't be able to do anything like that after he's already been elected out of office. Like, why should he be able to pardon a bunch of people that are criminals and make any kind of decisions that are going to affect our future? He's already been voted out by the people.
You're stuck on that one, Vince. I agree. I'm with you 100% on that. It's come November 5th until January 20th or January 6th. When do they do it? January 20th?
Something like that.
Yeah, they certify the vote on the 6th, I think,
had,
and they swear him in
2-3 months to
fuck shit up.
Sorry
for my language.
Right, but that's exactly what they spent that time doing. They're signing bills in to try to make things that they know that Trump's going to want to do.
Well, here's my complaint.
Harder for them to do.
Like, these presidents get in and then they throw their pens out there and they make all these executive orders, which are doing really good things. But the whole purpose in an executive order is to make something happen now. But your party is supposed to be pushing legislation to make those executive orders permanent, to make laws out of them. That way, because an executive order it has an expiration date. It's a president's term. The next president comes in and makes a signature, wipes them all away.
And exactly what Biden did when he first took office.
Absolutely.
Shut the pipeline down, stopped all the good stuff. Other than
where is Republican Congress?
He kept the tariff on China, though, because they were making a ton of money off that.
Right. It made sense. But where are the Republican? Where are the conservatives? They're to do their part. Even Rand Paul, he's introducing legislation to restrict the presidential authority on tariffs.
Right.
Bullshit, man. Why start introducing legislation to pass some of these executive orders?
Yeah, and
so the executive doesn't have to make these decisions via executive order.
That's a great point. And hopefully that's what they learned from the first term. Hopefully.
Rand Paul, I saw, wants to introduce legislation, if he didn't already, to restrict the president from being able to issue tariffs without Congress voting on them.
Right. No. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm talking about the president coming in and just being able to, the next president coming in and just being able to wipe everything out. Like what you're saying, they need to pass it all into law this time. Last time they failed to do that. And hopefully they realize that mistake and are trying to right that wrong this time.
So it can all be undone
But
in a few years.
Right.
You know.
On the first day of the next elected president, it could all be wiped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one signature.
Yeah.
One signature. So we saw the two about the judges. But now, of course, the administration is getting under fire. This is the husband and the wife from New Mexico. So now, like I said, the administration's coming under fire. But a few years ago, when these courts were not in favor of Biden, this is what AOC and Chuck Schumer had to say. Where did it go?
Ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying the Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce such a ruling.
They're trying to intimidate judges. This is not the first time or the second. They've said they want to impeach judges. They said they're going to go after judges who don't agree with them. That is so against the Constitution. What Trump, Biondi, and the whole Justice Department are trying to do is push that judge, threaten that judge, so the judge is no longer impartial. It is outrageous. You cannot have a democracy without an independent judiciary, and they're trying to clip the wings of that independence.
And they're taking away fundamental rights. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these offers.
So what is the price? What is the price that Chuck Schumer's talking about? What do we got here? But the left went after Clarence Thomas, and they went hard too. The Supreme Court's kind of screwed up. I mean, let's face it. Trump made some bad decisions back time around. But then again, I mean, if the judges are going against their doctrine, if they're overstepping the judicial branch's authority and interfering with the president to be the commander-in-chief and the executive of the federal government, then they need to be removed. They just need to be defunded. Congress funds them. They can defund them. Here's Tom Homan and his comment.
You can argue against us all you want and protest all you want, but when you cross that line, I've said this 1,000 times, when you cross that line to impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien from ICE, you will be prosecuted. Judge or not.
Judge or not. Yeah, and I think it should be nobody's above the law, right? I kept hearing that. I had another video for that. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. But here now we're criticizing the Trump administration for going after judges. Okay, that was some big news. It's always going to be a topic. I want to play one more. Actually, I've got two more things I want to play for you. One is a few minutes on Warrior Weekend coming up. It's still not until September, but check it out. And here's a little bit for Warrior Weekend. Thanks to Dale and Jim from Two Guys in One Coop.
The Warrior Shield Foundation proudly presents Warrior Weekend, a 3-day event from September 5th through September 7th at the Rosen Center in beautiful Orlando, Florida, which honors and supports the Corporal Chad Eric Oligschlager Foundation for PTSD, raising awareness and resources for its vital mission to help our most valuable heroes, our veterans. This powerful weekend will feature live performances by country music recording artist Ryan Weaver.
It's a long way to home, but you won't take the hard road all alone.
American Idol runner-up Bo Bice.
Tired of looking down roads, wondering what I gotta do, who I'm supposed to be. I don't wanna be anything other than free.
Christian contemporary and country artist Natasha Owens.
God and country strong, give me a cowboy who knows left from right from wrong.
Florida native and national recording artist Sean Holcomb.
You just watch your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. There's goodness every man if you need.
In addition to all of the musical artists performing at the event, meet John Tig Tigan and Dave Boone Benton. Two true American heroes who stood their ground and defeated armed terrorists on September 11th, 2012 in Benghazi, Libya. Not only can you meet Tig and Boone, but you can spend the day at the range, shooting and learning from the best of the best. Another hero that you will not want to miss is Colonel Gregory Gadsden, an American actor and motivational speaker, and a retired colonel and former commander in the United States Army. Colonel Gadsden is also a bilateral, above-the-knee amputee who served in the Army for 25 years of active duty as a field artillery officer. Nowhere else will you be able to meet this all-star lineup while supporting our veterans and first responders. This is an event of a lifetime, and one you do not want to miss. Get your tickets now, online, at warriorshield.org, and support those who fought and sacrificed so much for all of us.
I'm Lenka, the newest addition to Indian River Connections. I'm here to help the partners explain what we can offer to your business or organization. Indian River Connections offers ad space on our direct mail campaigns that reach approximately 10,000 households each mailing, and with multiple campaigns available to target specific communities. We also offer ad space and sponsorships to 5 different podcasts at the moment. From local shows like The Board Report and the Connecting People and Places podcast, to national audiences from Binford Chronicles, TGI Now podcast, and syndicated to The Point podcast. That's not all we do, though. We offer unique ways to promote your business or product. So stay tuned for some great partnerships and productions coming from the team at Indian River Connections, and hopefully we can partner with you too. Is it off? I think it's off. I nailed it. I was so dang nervous. Hopefully Mike likes it. He can be a prick about these things.
Welcome to the Patriots Prayer Network. Here, we don't just play to your feelings. We're rooted in honesty, and our foundation is based on Christian values, conservative beliefs, and a no-holds-barred approach. So, if your feelings clash with reality, it's not reality that needs adjusting. Are you ready to be part of a movement that challenges the official narratives, confronts the overwhelming tide of misinformation, and calls out wrongdoing wherever we find it? If so, you're in the right place. See, truth is our compass, and God is our only judge. Right and wrong mean more to us here at the Patriots Prayer Network than right and left do, and a complacent blind acceptance of the status quo will not be found here. We do not believe things are this bad in our country merely by accident. So, we investigate and dive deep into each episode and tackle pressing issues head on. Many podcasts claim they're unfiltered, but we mean it here. Go to thepatriotsprayernetwork.com.